All right, so we're here at MixCon with Kevin Killen. Kevin, thanks for doing this.
Justin, you're very welcome. Thank you.
All right. We're really excited. His panel's been a big hit with everyone here. Universal Audio is our sponsor for this panel. They were the guys who made this one totally free to the public. What made you excited to partner with them? Why do you like their tools, and were there any of their tools that you used on this mix today?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I've been very familiar with UAD products over the years because I've started the studios back in 1979. So I used a lot of the hardware over the years, and then one of my favorite pieces was the MixCon 224. It was one of my favorite go-to pieces. So when they brought out a software version of it, I was actually one of the beta testers, and so I actually worked, Chuck Sawicki and myself worked on that one to create a bunch of presets. They were very happy with the presets I created, and in fact, it was one of the presets I used on that mix. So it's a very, very extended reverb. And you know, when I use it as a hardware, it was my go-to reverb, and then the software version emulates it so closely, and it's really a fantastic thing.
I noticed you also had their EMT 250 up there. What does that one do for you?
Well, the 250, you know, I fell in love with the 250 when I used to work at Ocean Way all the time. Alan Sides, the owner of Ocean Way, loved that unit, and so invariably when I was working there, I would always have it as part of my mix or part of my monitoring path. And so yet again, when I had the opportunity to beta test it, I was like, oh, this thing sounds fantastic. And there are a bunch of presets that you can quickly call up yet again to start you off. But it's very true sounding, and you know, my memory of what it sounds like now versus what it sounded like then, it seems very similar. And then also the RMX 16 also was a beta tester on that, and created a bunch of presets. And you know, in the 80s, that was the go-to reverb, that and the 224. So the pair of them together, to have both those back in my arsenal and my workflow is really a great thing. And UA, they're a wonderful company. They do great research. They take the time to get it right, and you know, that's why people like me love to use that product.
Cool. Well, thanks again, Kevin, for taking the time
Justin, thank you
to
for
talk
asking
today.
me.
One last question for you. If there's one key takeaway you want people to have from your presentation at MixCon, what would it be?
One key thing. Wow. I would say make sure that when you actually start the project, you actually think about the mix from the beginning of the project, so from pre-production, and not wait until you get to the mix to kind of figure out what it is you want to do.
Even though we're just focusing on mixing today, it should be part of your focus.
It should be part of your whole focus from the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Very well said. Thanks again, Kevin.
You're very welcome.
See you next time.
It was a very formative moment for me. At that moment, I'd been working in the studio for 17 years. And most times when you're in the studio, you tend to layer up and add more things and try and cram as many things in. And here was somebody who was coming in with a beautifully orchestrated arrangement, and then he was taking it away and really distilling it down to its essence. So from that point forward, I've always started a mix with the vocal. I do this religiously every day I'm in a mix session. Always start with the vocal, get a sound on the vocal, even if it's just a basic perspective, whether it's a reverb or a delay, but I start with the voice. And then I add in the next main instrument. So in this particular song, the singer Alex Duggan and the guitar player Mick, they wrote it on guitar, acoustic guitar. I'm going to just start with the voice and the guitar. Just the basic raw performance that they did. I'll play maybe a bit of verse and chorus. I'm going to turn off the effects just for now, so we can just kind of hear the basic thing.